It's been a few days since I've been wearing this Venu 2 Plus smartwatch, and I thought why not give you an update on how I feel about it after a few days. To be honest, I bought this watch just to review it and give it away to one of my subscribers at some point. But I liked it so much that I actually ordered a second one. So I'm gonna give it away to one of my subscribers at some point. I'll let you know when, but just so you know, this is a brand new one, unopened, so you'll get to open it yourself. But yeah, I like the watch, at least I like how it looks, but also one big thing that I'll share with you in a moment. The watch itself is very comfy on the wrist, and in fact it only weighs 51 grams, which isn't much to be honest, and I could hardly feel it at night. But if you want to get an accurate measurement of the heart rate, then you're gonna have to wear it snug. And that might be uncomfortable for some people. But for me, so far it's been very good. You can wear the Venu 2 Plus at night because it comes with the sleep tracking feature, and it measures the light, deep, and REM sleep. And as you know, REM sleep is very important. For example, my Withings watch does not measure the REM sleep, and according to them, it's very difficult to measure the REM sleep. So the question is, how accurate is the sleep tracking? And that's the next point. I can tell it's pretty good, but to be sure, I want to do a real world test and make another video about it, and I'll let you know about it. And like I said, I have a brand new watch here, so please subscribe, and I'll give away this watch. But don't subscribe for the watch itself, subscribe for the content, because I want to make sure that my subscribers like the content. The Venu 2 Plus is an AMOLED display which is very bright, but unfortunately I haven't been able to test it on a bright sunny day because it's been very cold and dark, at least for the past few days. And by the way, this watch comes with an always on display mode, which I wouldn't recommend it. And actually I wasn't sure of the touch screen, and I noticed that unless your fingers are really oily, it doesn't really leave that much of a fingerprint on it, which is very good. Another good thing about this watch is that the UI is quite responsive, it's not that laggy, and it comes with several watch faces, which you can choose, but also you can make your own semi-custom watch, but with their background. Also, if you want, you can have your own background using the Connect IQ app. The stress management tool is another good feature of this watch which I really like, which measures your stress both when awake and during sleep. It can also alert you of high stress levels, and it usually recommends you to take a minute and use one of their breathing exercises, which is supposed to bring your stress levels down a little bit. I've tried it a few times and I really liked it. One thing I noticed though are these gaps in the stress measurement, as you can see. I'm not sure what's going on because I wasn't doing any sort of sprinting or anything like that, and I even tried to stay still, but it just couldn't measure my stress levels for some reason, until it did. And this has happened a few times, but it's not such a deal breaker. I think it still does a great job providing you with the big picture and potentially helping you with changing your lifestyle. I really like the idea of a readiness score, and the big question is whether this is just a gimmick or an actually helpful feature. And for that, I'm gonna do a real world test and we'll let you know at some point. But for example, yesterday I had a body battery score of 88, which is very high, while at the same time I slept only 4.5 hours the night before. And it said that I'm ready to take on some big action and do something big. But in reality, I actually couldn't keep my eyes open, at least for the first few hours of the day. And this may sound a little funny to you, but if you have an EV, you know what the range anxiety is. And with the body battery, I sometimes get a tiny dose of that same feeling every time I look at the body battery score and how my body battery is draining. But what I really like about the body battery is how you can compare it against the continuous stress level measurement throughout the day and see what could have possibly impacted your body battery more. So what could have possibly caused your body battery to drain more throughout the day. And that could lead to a possible lifestyle change for some people. As you'd expect from a smartwatch, you get all sorts of notifications on your watch. The good thing is that on the Garmin Connect app, you can actually disable certain apps to send push notifications. So that's a very handy feature as well. I wish you could have a notification schedule though. I mean, by default, if you don't want to, you can turn off notifications during your sleep time, but I wish you could have a separate one for notifications as well. If you know how to schedule notifications on the watch itself, please let me know in the comments. There is, however, an easy to find do not disturb mode which you can activate, but I noticed when it's on, the hand gesture won't work and you have to double tap on the watch to wake it up. With this watch, you could do a host of different activities including walking, running, biking, swimming, HIIT training, etc. In fact, the watch comes with a ton of preloaded exercises accompanied with animations to see how to do the exercises exactly on the watch itself. I scheduled a short 15-minute Pilates HIIT session and it worked really well. And that's another great thing, that you can schedule different activities on your watch directly. If you start an activity like walking or running, the watch will automatically recognize your movement with the Move IQ. But for better accuracy, it's better to start it yourself. And that's what I did. I went for a 15-minute fast walk outdoor and it worked really well. And with the help of the GPS, it showed me the path that I'd taken. And while there were lots of buildings around me, the accuracy seems top-notch. Okay, while I've tried the music control on the watch, I really haven't tried downloading music to the watch and then listening directly on the watch. I also haven't tried the Garmin Pay, but I've heard that it works. Another thing is that as much as the voice assistant is probably one of the most important features of this watch, I didn't try it out, but I'll try to give it a try at some point in the future. Right, so should you buy this watch or not? You know, the gaps in the stress measurement levels that I mentioned is not such a big deal, and it still provides the big picture, like I said, with lots of details and continuous measurements throughout the day. In my opinion, if you're looking for an Apple Watch alternative, the kind of watch that works with an Android phone, an Apple phone, if you change your phone, for example, in the future, I think this is a very good option. Also, if you're relatively active, or maybe want to be more active and fit and maybe change your lifestyle, I think this watch can give you some extra motivation. And finally, if you simply want a smartwatch to get notifications and answer calls and make calls directly on your watch, this could be a good option for you. One thing to note though is that you cannot actually respond to messages by typing. You can only use the voice assistant or use the preloaded messages. And if you recall, I said there is a very important reason I really like this watch, and that's the battery life. I mean, 9 days of battery life? Come on. Okay, so in real life it's probably 5 to 7 days, I guess, and it depends on your usage. But when I opened this, it had, I think, it was 98%, but right now it's at 53% after 3 days of constantly checking it, using different things on it. So it's really good. If you don't mind charging your watch every day, go ahead and buy an Apple Watch if you really like it. But otherwise, this is a fantastic option. Overall, I'm really happy with this watch. After a few days of using it, I guess we'll have to wait and see how I feel in the future. But like I said, I have a brand new one, which I'll give away at some point soon. I'll let you know when. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. And another thing is that actually, with the upcoming Phoenix 7, if I decide to buy that one, I might as well give this one away too. So we'll see.